Hi guys, rise and shine. We are all fine and the sun shines for yours and mine. Welcome back to my show. I know it has taken a long time for me to get back, but there were definitely some things that I had to evaluate myself, and there were some things that I had to just look over in general. There has been a lot of growth and a lot of development within the things that I have done through my life, so I definitely had to take a step back before I can come back to something like this and say to myself, am I going to continue to follow my morals and values? Am I going to continue to follow that moral compass? And that's what it boils down to for me, because I don't want to just become, you know, I don't want to tell you guys, excuse me for the pause there. But in today's lesson, I don't want to hold up anybody's time too much, but I just wanted to come back on here short and sweet today. And I wanted to talk to you guys about the past, the present, and the future. I believe that the past, the present, and the future is something very imperative that we all need to learn about, because a lot of us, we tend to either get stuck in our past. Some of us, we tend to get stuck in our present, which is good because we should be able to get stuck in the present so that we can alter our future. You know, the past has already passed, but we can alter our future. And some people get their heads into the future. Some people look ahead. Some people look ahead of time. But the thing is to always pay attention to the now. I feel that the now is important. The present is the most important. It's because it sets you up. It's like we as human beings, we tend to overstress our mind. We tend to think a lot about the future, but what are we doing to take those steps? Are we taking those steps? What are some of the strategies that we can come up with as human beings to be able to alter our future? We can't just make manifestations or just make a thought out of it. We have to take action, you know. But what I do want to describe to you guys is some of the definitions of past, present, and future. And what I feel that the past might be, I would start off with the past, is the past is made up of previous events. The past can be any form of nostalgic event or any form of event that has happened. Anything that has happened has to do with the past. Anything that has already happened has everything to do with the past. The present, when it comes to the present is based upon people and places and things that have a lot to do with everything now, within the present moment. When we're talking about the present, we talk about the current moment. And when we talk about the current moment, we talk about the things that we're doing now that would eventually lead us into the future. And the future is something that has not come yet, but will occur. And I believe that past, present, and future, with the past, when it comes to the past is important because it's it leads to nostalgic flashbacks, and sometimes those nostalgic flashbacks can actually lead to something that we haven't learned about ourselves. You know, sometimes we have, sometimes we are finding something that has, that has, and when it comes to the present, we, if we focus on what's currently happening, you know, or let me rephrase that. What's currently happening could lead to, isn't that crazy? Past can equal into something that helps us, that we haven't learned about ourselves. And the future can possibly come up with, or the present can come up with future events that will happen. Once you set yourself up now, if you set yourself up now for the future that you want, then you'll be able to see those things come into transition, is what I'm trying to get at. And I find that such a beautiful thing, how you are able to grasp from the past and use whatever you've learned from the past and use it into your future. I find that very powerful, in a way, because a lot of us, we want to learn so much more. We want to learn this, we want to learn that, not already realizing that we have the tools. God wouldn't have presented certain things within our lives if He didn't believe that it would be applicable, or if He didn't believe that we couldn't do it, you know? Um, and I feel that the future, or if we focus now on the present, excuse me, then we won't get stuck in the past worrying about our future, because sometimes we get stagnated and then we worry. We tend to have all of these stresses on our minds about what our future is going to be like. And we're not letting ourselves become one with the present moment. We tend to put a lot of stresses on ourselves. All of us, we tend to put a lot of stresses on ourselves just by doing that. And it's not necessary. One thing I believe that we can do to get past that is coming up with positive affirmations. Not only positive affirmations, but saying to yourself every morning and kind of reiterating that to yourself, that your future is going to turn out exactly the way you need to be, and that you are exactly where you need to be. You are in alignment, you are divinely supported, and you are divinely guided throughout every part of your journey. And that's mostly what I do when it comes to myself. I kind of encourage myself in that way. Um, Now, when it comes, excuse me, from the present, because I was on the present still, guys. But when it comes to the future leads to positive or negative manifestations, because it's a thought. It's a thought going forward. It's not a thought going backwards. Whereas, excuse me, not a thought going backwards, or it's not an event that's going backwards, because the past has everything to do with everything that's already happened, you know? And the future has everything to do with everything that hasn't occurred yet. And when we make positive manifestations, or we make even negative manifestations, we precipitate those events. And it depends on how much faith we have in ourselves when it comes to those things. Sometimes we have faith in the wrong things, and say if we have faith in our negative and intrusive thoughts, we're putting those intrusive thoughts that didn't even happen, but that can potentially happen within our future into our lives. We're literally precipitating those events. And so I feel that if we more so transmute those intrusive thoughts into positive manifestations, then we will be able to see further change. We will be able to see our future becoming brighter, even in our minds. We will be able to cultivate a better understanding of being able to hurdle over our humps within this game of life, or within this reality that we call life. Um, I feel that looking forward to we have to look forward to what will happen, but we also have to remain here. We have to remain in the now. It's okay to look forward to what's going to happen, but we can't, you know what I mean, consistently or frequently put that on ourselves, you know what I mean? Because we're not going to be able to enjoy the fruits that we have to enjoy now. When you are able to enjoy, it's like enjoying the things that you have now. When you're able to enjoy the fruits that you bear now, then you will be able to bear more fruits in the future. And that's why it's important to just focus now. I feel that when it comes to past, present, and future, the past, we tend to leave anything that we feel as human beings is hindering us within the past. And sometimes our past can definitely come back to teach us something about ourselves. Um, When it comes to the present, if we focus on the now, then we won't get stuck in the past or worrying. We won't stress out too much. We won't put stresses on ourselves. We won't put unnecessary fear and anxiety on ourselves. And we will be able to focus on our future. And that leads me to the future, and it teaches us to be able to live within the now. I believe that the future teaches us to live in the now. And when I say that, I mean in a way where if we are able to live now, if we are able to see things now for how they are, then that is when the future is able to teach us everything we need. Because when we're just so focused on the future, we're not able to put everything into transition, nor are we able to make the moves that we want. I believe that in order for us to learn about our future, we have to be within the now. Living your life in a beneficial way is very important for us as human beings, so that we can learn now. When you are able to learn now, you are able to capture wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, and you're able to bring it into your future. Because you never know, that might be that something, that might be that skill, that might be that tool that you needed to learn, not for right now, but you needed to learn it for the future. I feel that it's just very important for us to be able to come to terms with our past, our present, our future, because all courses of time definitely contribute to the things to the things that we do. It contributes to the life that we live. It contributes to our everyday routine. And in order to see better, we have to live in the present, not stay in the past or stay in the future, but stay in the present, so that we can alter our future. And if you stay in the present, there's most likely something that you're going to get from the past that'll help you out with your future. I believe that this was something that I needed to come across, because past, present, and future, we get confused, we get stuck. Some of us get stuck in the past, like I said earlier. Some of us get stuck in the present. Some of us get stuck in the future. The present is good. As long as we're stuck in the present, we are able to change and we are able to transition. But if we get stuck in the future, then we're not able to do anything about it, because we're stuck in a current timeline that hasn't happened yet. And it's important for us to just know where we should be at, and know that everything is going to be okay, knowing that everything is aligned, and knowing that we are supported. I think we all need to have faith within ourselves. The Lord has said to cast all fears, all anxieties, and all worries onto Him. And that's what we need to learn how to do. We need to learn how to cast all of our fears of our future turning into another way onto Him. We need to be able to stop worrying about what will happen and worry about the now. And we need to stop having fear of our past coming back, and stop being in denial, so that we can be able to learn, so that we can alter our future with better tools that we have grasped from the past. I hope this was a blessing to you guys. I love you guys. Please leave a thumbs up in the like section. Please comment. Please just let me know how you guys are viewing these videos, because I definitely love to hear from everybody. I hope you all have a beautiful day and you guys enjoy. Bye bye.